Mr. Run and Jump markets itself as a precision platformer, which is subgenre speak for a particularly challenging but tightly designed game that tests your reflex platforming skills. The level of difficulty is punishing, and even with the generous checkpoint and screen bypass system, I found myself struggling through some of the game's earliest stages. I found the game frustrating rather than fun, but I'm also not very good at high-skill platformers like Super Meat Boy, Celeste, or Guacamelee. It's taken me a long time to get this video out, mostly due to a lack of interest in playing the game, and ultimately I've decided to get the video out rather than spend the time to get better at it and see more. Mr. Run and Jump's conceptually a very exciting game. It's a continuation of the partnership between Atari and developer Graphite Lab that began last year with the puzzle game Campanera, and it's the first new game being released by Atari for the Atari 2600 in more than 30 years. And it's part of Atari's core business push to position themselves as sellers of innovative retro-inspired gaming fun in 2023. What started as a 2600 game written in assembly language became a modern retro platformer, then somewhere along the line the 2600 game was finished and offered as an actual physical 2600 cart, in a $60 limited edition that includes a manual and a $30 standard edition without. The 2600 version of Run and Jump is not yet released, but is expected to ship by the end of the year, around the release of the 2600 Plus, an updated 2600 emulation device that'll play Atari's new slate of cartridges along with your old 2600 and 7800 carts. Mr. gets the title, but the game also lets you play as Ms. Run and Jump or a genderless Run and Jump, and you can swap your character's color and decoration regardless of choice. The game doesn't support the classic joystick due to the need for additional buttons. In Mr. Run and Jump, you'll have to execute a series of super tough dashes, jumps, wall bounces, and more, and in general the slightest mistake means death and a teleport back to the start. Die often enough and you'll teleport not as far back, and die even more and you can opt into an immunity mode, where almost nothing can kill you until you get to the end of the screen and on to the next, at which point it's back to no help. There are also a handful of super challenges. Collect the orbs to progress further through the game. There are several dozen levels, and getting through the entire game without immunity assistance feels basically impossible unless you're a platforming master. It's odd to see Mr. Run and Jump get such a high profile by current Atari marketing when the game itself caters to a particularly high skill but small in number crowd. Perhaps the 2600 cart's more accessible. The graphics are neon, colorful, and bright, and the look and sound of the game is nicely done. Sorry to say I didn't like Mr. Run and Jump at all, but people who are better at it and love platformers will get more out of it. Thanks for watching. It'd be great if you subscribe as well. Have fun!